Yes, people, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all South India students. How are you? Hope so you are good. I'm also good. So guys, hope so you understood the lecture number one, that amendment lecture. So guys, you know that in the amendment lecture number one, we have covered the amendment related to the capital gain, and this time in the capital gains from 23rd of July 2024, there are lots of amendment. Rates are changed, indexation issue and all. So that were amendment, as well as there were amendment in the buyback also, that we already covered in the lecture number one. Now, guys, this time there is one more amendment, that is in the assessment procedure. And in assessment procedure, okay, one more point. Okay, like if you attending our current batch, that is May 2025 CA final, or CMA, that is the June or December 2025 attempt, that exam, that lecture you are attending, then guys, there is no need to check this amendment out, because this amendment is already covered in your classroom. So there is no need to separately watch this lecture. This lecture is only for the people who opted the classes in 2023 or 24, and they want to amend their amend themselves according to the Finance Act 2024. So guys, do one thing, like some small amendments are there in the income tax, but that amendment we will cover with the revision lecture. Like in the first revision lecture, we have covered that tax rate changes, like 115 BAC, there is a, instead of 6 lakh, now there is a 7 lakh, 7 lakh to 10 lakh, 10 lakh to 12 lakh and all. So that we will cover in the revision lecture. This time, don't worry, I am going to upload the most, you can say that most important topic, at least revision lecture for South Indian students. So don't worry about that. This time I will upload the at least 7-8 lecture for the South Indian student, also for CA final. And guys, in the today's lecture, we are going to discuss about the block assessment, because you know that earlier what happened, if search is conducted, then assessment is under section 147 only, under income escaping assessment. But now guys, it has changed. And from 1st September 2024, it has changed. And from 1st September 2024, if raid is conducted on or after 1st September 2024, then there is a separate block assessment. Now, how this block assessment will be there, that we are going to discuss. And one more point, guys. So in the today's session, we will discuss, one is the, what is the block assessment, how that block assessment happen in case of the search cases. And also there are certain changes in section 147. So 147 is a basically income escaping assessment. So what was 147 before that, and how 147 is changed, that we are going to discuss in today's lecture. And guys, today this lecture I will upload from my regular or exam oriented batch only, so you can get the better understanding. And that topic, that is in the assessment procedure only. So in case of the assessment in case of search, so guys, search means that raid. We have discussed now raid, that is search. So search means the raid. So raid, that search cases. You know that we have discussed the raid. So in the search, what we have discussed, like suppose, like in 3 cases that raid is possible, search is possible. One is, suppose income tax department issued the 142(1) notice or 131 summon, and you not complied with the notice or summon. Or if they issue, then you might not complied in the future for the summon or notice, then raid is completed, raid can be possible. Or suppose they are having some information, and on the basis of that, you have like some money, bullion, jewelry, any other valuable article and things that has not been disclosed in the income tax, or you are not going to disclose in the income tax. So in that case, search is possible. So now question is that, sir, suppose if search is conducted, raid is conducted, search is conducted, then how our assessment will be done? So guys, earlier the system was very easy. So here in this year, they made certain changes. Now what are the changes, that we will discuss. But guys, if search is conducted, now basically, if search is conducted, raid is conducted, suppose at one place raid is conducted, in our lecture, I have shown you that Karnataka, that vice CM, I think, he's the that deputy CM, that raid was conducted. I have shown you the Panchnama also during the lecture, I think, if you remember. So that case Kumar Swami, I think, S Kumar Swami or K Kumar Swami, is that search was conducted at his place and all. So question is that, sir, if search is conducted, then how assessment will be made? because still we have completed, still like we have completed basically three type of the assessment. One was the scrutiny assessment, one was the bad judgment assessment, and one was the income escaping assessment. Last to last lecture we have discussed the income escaping assessment under section 147. When assessing officer is having some information, how he got information, we discussed that 148, 148A procedure and all that we have already discussed. Now question is that sir, if search is conducted, then what will happen? So guys, what happened, you know that earlier the law was very simple. So before 1st September 2024, so before 1st September 2024 means I can say that till 31st August 2024, law was very simple. Okay, if search is conducted, na, suppose raid is conducted, then guys there is no need to follow the 148A procedure. Means 148A procedure not required to follow. Not required to follow the 148A procedure. And guys, assessing officer can directly issue the notice under section 148. Notice under section 148 is issued. Means there is no need to follow the 148A procedure. There is no need to give the show cause notice and all. So in raid is conducted, na, then 148A procedure not allowed, not required to follow. Directly AO will issue the notice under section 148. And guys, earlier your assessment has to be completed. Assessment in case of the raid also, that assessment is completed under section 147. So assessment has to be completed under section 147. So assessment completed under section 147 only if raid is conducted before 1st September 2024. So before 1st September 2024, so in the current year, can I say that April, May, June, July and August. So in that 5 months, if raid is conducted, na, then assessment is required to be made under section 147 only. And 147 we have discussed. Now last lecture was dedicated to 147 only. So last lecture was dedicated to 147 only. We have discussed the 147. And guys, in the 147 we have discussed various sections, like 147 is a assessment, 148 is a notice to file the return, 148A is a procedure, 148B that joint commissioner only made the assessment in case of the like raid and all. 149 was time limit, 151 was approval from higher authority, 152 was that we have discussed respective year rate and all, and dropping of assessment. So this we have discussed in the last lecture. And guys, if you remember here, I have mentioned that when we were discussing about okay, there are lots of changes made in the 147 also with effect from 1st September 2024. So with effect from 1st September 2024, here last change was that in case of the search, assessment has to be made under section 147 earlier. But now in case of the search, assessment has to be made under section 158BA to 158BI. And guys, this 158BA to 158BI are the new section that is introduced by the Finance Act 2024 by our own Nirmala Sitharaman ji. So what I am saying, try to understand that if raid is completed, means raid is conducted. If raid started, basically raid conducted means initiated, you can say that. If search initiated before this date, na, before this date, then guys, assessment under section 147 only. Means till last year, we have completed topic assessment procedure here only. But guys, now from this year, they made the amendment. And from this year, guys, if search is conducted on or after 1st September 2024, then what will happen? So guys, they started one concept is called your block assessment. They started one concept is called block assessment from this year only. That block assessment was in the law before 2021. But in the 2021, Nirmala Sitharaman ji has removed that block assessment system. And again from this year, Nirmala Sitharaman ji reintroduced the block assessment system in case of the raid cases. Now, what is the block assessment and all? So try to understand. So guys, here like block assessment will happen if raid is conducted on or after 1st September 2024. So in simple word, I can say that here lawmaker says that suppose search is started on or after 1st September 2024, then only this block assessment system is applicable. Now for the block assessment, they have introduced the various new sections, and guys, in the law they have introduced the section 158 BA to section 158 BI. So they have introduced the section 158 BA to 158 BI. Now what are these all sections that we will discuss one by one. Now what is the block assessment? So lawmaker says that, for an example guys, try to understand. For an example, lawmaker says that if raid is conducted on or after 1st September 2024, then only this concept is applied. And this concept is a basically in income tax, there is a chapter number 14B. This chapter number is known as the chapter number 14B, and that is newly introduced chapter from this year only. Now what is the block assessment? So suppose for an example, we can take one example. Okay, here guys, suppose search is started on 10 October 2024. Suppose search started on the 10th October 2024. And guys, search completed. Search completed means on the day when Panchnama has been drawn, means search is completed. Officially they say that okay, today your raid is completed, because many times what happens, raid is conducted for the 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, multiple days, 10 days also raid may be conducted. So search completed on suppose 26th of October 2024. So in one of the case I can take an example. Suppose there is a one person, name is Mr. Shashank. Now in case of the Shashank, search is started on 10th October 2024. And guys, suppose search is completed on the 26th October 2024. Now what is the block assessment? So lawmaker says that what they will decide, they will take the block period. Now what is the block period? Block period means guys, in the year in which search is started. So can I say that search is started in the previous year 24-25? So just skip this year, and last 6 year will be your block year. That is previous year 23-24, previous year 22-23, previous year 21-22, previous year 20-21, previous year 19-20, and previous year 18-19. Or I can say that assessment year. If I want to say the assessment year, then guys, assessment year 19-20, assessment year 20-21, assessment year 21-22, assessment year 22-23, assessment year 23-24, and assessment year 24-25. So guys, in current year, suppose search is conducted, raid is started in current year, then income tax department says that this last 6 year assessment we will make. Means mandatorily they will make the assessment of last 6 year, and there will be one assessment that is called block assessment. So guys, if raid is conducted, suppose search is conducted on or after 1st September 2024, normally what happened, before that assessment is done under section 147. So suppose if income escaping is for any particular year in the raid also, then only for that year assessment has to be done. But guys, here they introduce the block assessment concept. So if search is conducted on this date, then guys, this last 6 year assessments are mandatory. This last 6 year assessments are mandatory, and they will do the last 6 year assessment. So they will decide the block period. Block period is basically search initiated in this year, then last 6 previous year, or you can say that the last 6 assessment year, this are treated as the block period, and block period is not this much. Along with that, this 6 year plus 1st April 2024 till the date on which raid is completed. So here search is completed on 26th of October 2024. So guys, this whole period is treated as your block period. This whole period is basically treated as your block period. So this is your block period. This whole period means last search initiated in this year, then just skip this year, and last 6 year plus 1st April of this previous year till the date on which search is completed. So this period along with this 6 year will be treated as your block period. And guys, for this whole block period, AO will complete your assessment and AO will make one assessment order for the block period. Here AO will do the assessment, and guys, whatever the income is determined in this assessment, whatever the income is determined in this assessment order, means whatever your undisclosed income means which you have not disclosed earlier, that is called undisclosed income. So whatever income you will, like AO will assess in this particular case, on this income guys, you have to pay the 60% tax. Here your tax rate is 60%, means you have to pay the 60% tax. And guys, along with that, on this 60% tax, you have to pay the 50% of the penalty. So on this 60% of tax, you have to pay the 50% of penalty. This much you have to pay. There is no surcharge, no health and education cess. So they have started one concept, is called the block assessment, and that block assessment is possible only in case of the search. And lawmaker says that if search is started, here search is started on or after 1st September 2024. If search is started on or after 1st September 2024, then guys, this concept is applicable. And what this particular concept says that, okay guys, if search is conducted na, if raid is conducted, then guys, AO will make the assessment of the last 6 years plus the current year from 1st April 2024 till the date on which search is completed. This is called your block period, and for block period they will make the assessment, they will determine the income, and guys, on that income there will be a 60% of the tax. 60% of the tax, 60% will be the tax, and along with that guys, there will be a penalty under section 115B FA. There is a one penalty, that penalty under section 115 BFA, and that penalty will be the 50% of the taxes. But guys, here 60% is the tax rate, on that 50% will be the penalty. But here in this case, there is no need to pay any surcharge, there is no need to pay any health and education cess, there is no need to pay the interest under section 234 ABC. That is not applicable at all. So suppose for an example, in simple word, I can say that at your home, one undisclosed income they have discovered in the raid. So they will make the assessment for the block period, and in block period, suppose for an example, at your home, they got the 1 crore rupees asset. So they will say that your undisclosed income is a 1 crore. So on that undisclosed income, there will be the tax of the 60%. So 60% tax comes to the 60 lakh rupees. And on that 60 lakh rupees, there will be a 50% of the penalty. So in simple word, that 50% will be the penalty. So its total comes to the 90 lakh rupees. They will take away the 90 lakh rupees, 10 lakh rupees with you. 10 lakh rupees will be with you. 10 lakh, you can enjoy the 10 lakh rupees. There is no issue at all. But guys, this will be the tax liability under this concept. So this is called your block assessment. This block assessment is started from 1st September 2024. This concept is applied when search is conducted in any person case from 1st September 2024. If search is started on or after 1st September 2024, this concept is applicable. They will determine the assessment or income of the block period. Now block period means the last 6 years plus the current year 1st April till the date of the completion of the raid. This is called your block period. For block period, they will make the one assessment, that is called block assessment. They will determine the excess income, whatever income you have disclosed in the earlier return. Obviously, whatever in excess of that, on that income, they will charge the 60% tax and they will charge the 50% penalty. After that, there is no any other levy. It means there is no surcharge, there is no health and education cess, no 234 ABC, nothing is applicable. Just you have to pay the 90% in simple word, like 60% is your tax and your 60% is your tax rate, and on that 50% will be your penalty. You got my point or not? Yes. Now one more point. All people pay attention. What will happen? So guys, suppose in your case, search is conducted, and when search is conducted, then they will issue, suppose in your case, suppose raid is conducted at your place, then what will be the process of this block assessment? So first they will issue you one notice to file the return, and they will issue you the one notice to file the return, and guys, that notice will be under section, that notice under section 158 BC subsection 1 clause number A, and in this notice they will ask you to file the return of the last 6 years. So notice under section 158 BC will be issued by the income tax department. AO will issue the 158 BC subsection 1 clause number A notice, and this notice is required to file the return, means you have to file the return of the last 6 years, means for the block period you have to file the return. Now guys, for an example, sir, you are saying that okay, for this 6 year we have to file the return. Answer is yes, you have to file the return. Now suppose, sir, we already filed the return of the last 6 years, then again we have to file the return of the last 6 years. Answer is yes, again you have to file the return of last 6 years. So if you already filed the return of the last 6 years, then also again you have to file the return of the last 6 years. You got my point or not? Yes. Now notice will be issued. You have to file the return of the last 6 years. Now, sir, suppose for an example, here, try to understand up. Suppose for an example, here for the previous year 22-23, suppose one assessment is already pending under section 143.3. So suppose assessment is already pending, then what will happen? Or suppose, sir, for this year there is an assessment under section 147 is pending. Or sir, suppose for this year there is an appeal in the ITAT. So in the ITAT, appellate tribunal, there is an appeal is going on. Then what will happen, sir? So lawmaker says that, okay, guys, here AO will make the assessment of the last 6 years. That is called your block assessment in case of the raid. But sir, what will happen with the pending assessment? Sir, suppose, sir, this year scrutiny is going on. This year 147 is going on, and you are saying that there is a block assessment of the last 6 years. There will be a one assessment. What will happen with this assessment, sir? So lawmaker says that, yeah, on the date of the raid, if any assessment is pending out on the last 6 years, then guys, this assessment will be the abated. Means this assessment will abate. Now my question to all of you, what do you mean by the abate? What do you mean by the abate? Means your assessment will abate. So what is the meaning of abate? What is the meaning of the abate? So guys, here I am saying that no one is reply here. Huh? No one is reply. You are not like, why you are not replying? You are attending the live batch. I am asking something. Okay, what do you mean by the abate? So you are not replying. Only one guy is replying, that Shashank. Other people, they don't reply at all. They don't want to reply at all. Okay, so what I'm saying that, okay, guys, suppose for an example, if raid is conducted, then sir, what will happen with this assessment, sir? Here, sir, assessment is pending of this year. Here, assessment is pending of this year. Sir, what will happen? So I am saying that, okay, here assessment of this year and assessment of this year is going to abate. Abate means, in simple word, it is going to be a stop. So here assessment will not be done under this section. Under this section, assessment for all this 6 years will be done under this particular block assessment. So what I am saying that, try to understand, okay, guys, in case of any SSC, if raid is conducted, but out of this 6 years, suppose any year assessment is pending, then what will happen with this assessment here? What will happen with this assessment? So I am saying that this assessment is going to abate. Abate means, in simple word, this assessment is going to cancel, or you can say that it is going to be stopped, but only assessment will abate. If any appeal and all is going on, that appeal will continue. If any appeal in the CIT appeal or ITET or High Court or Supreme Court, if that is going on, then it is going to be continue. Appeal is not going to abate. But guys, if any assessment is pending of this year, na, then assessment is going to abate. Now, search for an example. I can take an example. Suppose there is a one guy, name is Arvind Kejriwal. Now, Arvind Kejriwal, at the place of the Arvind Kejriwal, suppose search is conducted, raid conducted at a home of the Arvind Kejriwal. Now, raid is conducted, and when raid is conducted, so in case of Arvind Kejriwal, obviously this for 6 years, there will be a like block assessment. Now, in case of Arvind Kejriwal, what happened? Like this year assessment was pending under section 143.3. 147 assessment was pending for this year. It is going on. But due to the raid, this assessment got abated. This assessment are abated. Abate means stop, cancel. You can abate, stop. Now guys, what happened? Suppose for an example, Arvind Kejriwal directly approached to the High Court. And Arvind Kejriwal approached to the High Court, and Arvind Kejriwal says that, sir, in my case, that raid is conducted due to the political reason. And raid should not be made on my case. I don't have any money and all, but income tax department, due to the Nirmala Sitharaman ji, Narendra Modi ji, they initiated the raid only for the political vendetta. Only for the political reason, only due to the Delhi election. Sir, this raid is invalid. Now what happened? Suppose for an example, High Court passed the order and High Court says that whatever search was conducted in case of Arvind Kejriwal, that search is invalid. There may be possibility, High Court says that search is invalid, that search is annulled. Search is suppose annulled, then what will happen? Search is invalid, search is cancelled, then what will happen? So question is that what about this abated assessment? Guys, this abated assessment will be revived. This abated assessment will be revived. So in any court, suppose for an example that raid was made in the case of Arvind Kejriwal, that got cancelled. If raid got cancelled, so in this particular case, if raid got cancelled in case of Arvind Kejriwal, so in that particular case, whatever assessment it was earlier abated, now it will be revived. Revived means alive. So they will again get alive. So what I am saying that try to understand, guys. What will happen in case of the raid? If raid is conducted before 1st September 2024, then 147 is applicable. But suppose search is conducted on or after 1st September 2024, then guys, there is a block assessment under section 158BA to 158BI. Now, what is this section about? We will discuss one by one. But guys, here what will happen? They will decide the block period. And here block period means the search is started this year from 1st April of this year till the completion of raid plus last 6 years is called your block period. And guys, they will make the assessment of the block period. Now guys, in this block period, they will determine the income, and whatever the income, now on that income, there will be a 60% tax, and on that tax, there will be a 50% penalty. Means in simple, but you have to pay the 90% to the income tax department. Now next part is, sir, what will happen? So in your case, suppose search is conducted, after that AO will issue the notice under section 158BC, and AO will ask you to file the return of the last 6 years. Now sir, we already filed the return of the last 6 years in the normal return. Then sir, again we have to file the return of the last 6 years. Answer is yes, again you have to file the return for the block period. Now guys, if you file the return of the block period, then AO will do the assessment and AO will complete your assessment. But sir, question is that what about if any assessment pending in the last 6 years, then that assessment will continue or that will abated? Right answer, that is going to be abated. So if any assessment is pending out of the 6 years, then guys, that assessment is going to abate. Abate means stop. That is going to be stopped. And your assessment will be done under section, like under this section only. But sir, if any appeal is going on or any revision is going on, now what is the revision that we will discuss later. So if any appeal or revision is going on, then that is not going to be abated. That is not going to be abated. Only your assessment is going to be abated. An assessment will be made in the block assessment under this particular chapter. But sir, if suppose in any appeal, High Court, Supreme Court and all, if that rate got invalid, then Suppose they'll declare the raid is invalid, then what will happen? So in this particular case, guys, what will happen? This whatever abated assessment, na, they are going to be revived. They are going to be revived. Mean abated assessment are going to be revived. You got my point or not? Yes. Now, guys, we will discuss this section from our compact. But in your compact, guys, I think this index is not given. In your compact, I think this index of this particular section is not given. So I am going to give you 2 minutes time. Just make this index. Just make this index. I think this is not given in your compact, right? This is not given in your compact. This section number, which section number is about what? So if this is not given, just write this. Just write this on the sticky notes or top of the page or wherever you have the space. Suppose on this page you have space, you can write that is all this section are about. So please copy down this, only this index part, just copy down. Done, people? Done? Okay. Muralidharan, wait a minute for some time. Wait for some time. You will get your answer. Sir, in case of appeal is pending, so yeah, assessment will be done. But that whatever dispute is going on na in appeal, that will be continue na. Whatever the decision of that dispute, that effect will be given on your assessment after the completion of that appeal na. Done? Okay, guys. Done, people, done. Say done, done are done. So done, done are done. Done, done are done, done, done. Done. Okay. So guys, here section 158 BA. Yes, people. So 158 BA, that first section is about the assessment of total income as a result of the search or raid. 158 BB is a computation of total income of block period. 158 BC is a procedure of block assessment. How they will do the block assessment means here issue of notice to file the return, assessment of total income and passing of assessment order. That will be under section 158 BC. After that, undisclosed income of any other person is suppose coming, then what will happen? Suppose raid is conducted at the place, your place, but there is an undisclosed income of your relative, then what will happen? Time limit to completion of block assessment, till what time they will complete the assessment of last 6 year and all, and certain interest and penalty not applicable. And guys, penalty in the search cases, how penalty will be applicable. So this is all are the section. Let's start with the first section, that is the section 158 BA. But along with the 158 BA, we will discuss the section 158 BC also, like procedure, and also we will discuss here only. So let's start with what this section 158 BA says. So 158 BA says that whenever a search is initiated under section 132 or requisition is made under section 132A. So either search is initiated or requisition is made. Requisition means, you know that in the raid topic I have discussed that suppose for an example search conducted like by the GST department or election commission or by any other authority like ED and all, then income tax department will requisite, they will request whatever, if you have done anything, like whatever you have done, now just hand over the books of accounts and asset and all, so we can start our proceeding, our like procedure. So that is called requisition. So here lawmaker says that whenever a search is initiated under section 132 or requisition is made under section 132A on or after 1st September 2024. So on or after 1st September 2024, if search is initiated or requisition is made, in respect of any person, the assessment of such person will be governed by the provision of chapter 14B. So provision of chapter 14B is this new chapter is applicable if search is conducted on or after 1st September 2024. Now how that procedure will be followed? So next section is 158 BC. What this section says? What will happen? Suppose raid conducted. Now what will happen? So AO shall issue a notice to such person requiring him to furnish within such period maximum 60 days, as may be specified in the notice, written in the prescribed form, setting forth his total income including the undisclosed income for the block period. So guys, here what will happen? When raid is conducted, raid is completed, after that AO will issue one notice and AO will ask you to file the return of the block period. AO will ask you to file the return of the block period. And guys, return of the block period will be filed in the prescribed form. Now form prescribed, they will issue the prescribed form, in which form we have to file the return. So they will, in the future, they will, suppose raid is conducted, then they have already, I think, prescribed the form, in this form you have to file the return in case of the raid. So guys, and in that you have to show your total income along with the undisclosed income. So whatever undisclosed income you have not disclosed earlier, now just disclose in this particular return. Now question is that, sir, what about the block period? You are saying that block period, for block period, they will ask you to file the return. What is the block period? So here guys, what is the block period? Try to understand. First, we will discuss the block period. So block period means the period comprising previous year relevant to the 6th assessment year preceding the previous year in which search was initiated under section 132 or requisition was made under section 132A. So search is initiated in current previous year or requisition is made in current previous year. Then guys, current previous year, whatever assessment year, just ignore that, and last 6 previous year. So what they are saying, The block period means the period comprising previous year relevant to the sixth assessment year preceding the previous year in which search was initiated under section 132 or requisition was made under section 132A, and also include the period starting from the 1st April of previous year in which search was initiated or requisition was made and ending on the date of the execution of the last date of authorization of such search or such requisition. So in simple word guys, your block period will be the last 6 previous year and current year 1st April till the date of the completion of the raid. Now what is the completion of the search? When search or requisition will be completed? So try to understand. The last date of authorization shall be deemed to have been executed in case of search on the conclusion of the search as recorded in the last Panchnama drawn. So when last Panchnama is made by the officer, then that day raid is completed. Or in case of requisition, on the actual receipt of the books of accounts or other document or asset by the authorized officer. So when authorized officer receive the actual receipt of the books of accounts or other document or asset by the authorized officer, on that day your requisition will be completed. Now for an example, if search is initiated on 30th September 2024 and concluded on the 5th October 2024, then your block period consists of assessment year 1920, that is previous year 1819 to the previous year 2324, and the period from 1st April 2024 till 5th October 2024. You got my point or not? Yes, this is called your block period. Now guys, what will happen here? First, here AO will ask you to furnish the return. AO will give you the time to file the return of the block period, and guys, maximum AO can allow the 60 days. So maximum 60 days he will allow. Now next part, provided that there are some certain point, try to understand. Such return shall be considered as return furnished under section 139 and notice under section 143(2) shall thereafter be issued. So basically what happened, you will file the return of the block period and after that they will issue you the scrutiny notice. Now question is that, sir, why they are issuing the scrutiny notice? Because guys, scrutiny notice, from scrutiny notice they can call you. So what happened? You will furnish the return under section 139, under this particular section. It will be treated as like considered as return furnished under section 139 only. You required to furnish the return, means it will be treated that you were required to file the return. And when you file the return now, then they will issue you the 143(2) notice. So it is like for the, that scrutiny, they will ask you, they will call you, you will attend the income tax department and all. So for that purpose, they always issue one notice under section 143(2). Next part, notice under this section to file the return shall be issued by AO with the prior approval of the additional CIT, additional DIT, JC or JD. So guys, under raid cases, obviously this is the very serious case because raid is conducted. So to file the return, they will issue you the notice, but this notice will be issued by the any officer now. Then they will take the approval of the either JC or JD or additional CIT or additional DIT. So in simple word, can I say that if ITO is issuing this notice or assistant commissioner, deputy commissioner is issuing that notice, then they will take the approval of the JC. But suppose JC himself or JD or additional CIT, additional DIT, if they are issuing the notice, then obviously there is no need to take the approval. Now next part. Provided further that any ROI furnished beyond the period allowed in the notice shall not be deemed to be written under section 139. So guys, suppose they have allowed you to file the return in 20 days, but you are filing after 20 days, then there may be possibility they reject the return. There may be possibility they reject the return. So they are saying that if any return is filed after this particular time limit, then it is not treated as deemed to be required to be filed under section 139. Now next part, very interesting. Provided also that no notice under section 148 is required to be issued for the purpose of proceeding under this chapter. It's logical because guys, now this is the new concept, new block assessment concept. So 148 was earlier, like till raid is conducted till 31st August 2024 now, then that 148 was required. But now there is no need to the 148. Here notice to file the return and all, this will be issued under section 158 BC subsection 1 clause number A. Now next part. Provided also that the person shall not be entitled to furnish the revised return. So whatever return you file in the block year, then that return you cannot revise now. After once you file, you cannot revise. Provision of section 143(1) shall not apply to the return furnished under this section. It means guys, there will not be any processing or there will not be any intimation and all. So whatever return you file in the for the block period, then guys, there will not be any processing, there will not be any intimation and all. So this is the block period. Now we are going to start with the next part, that is a point number 4. What point number 4 says? Point number 4 says that, okay, suppose any assessment or reassessment which is pending as on the date of the initiation of the search, means when search was started, now on that day, suppose any assessment was pending. In relation to such last 6 previous year, it shall abate. Abate means stop. Only assessment or reassessment shall abate. Any other proceeding such as appeals or revision which is pending shall not abate. So if any appeal is going on or any revision application is there, that is not going to abate. If in any case, if reference is made to the TPO under section 92 CA subsection 1 by AO and order passed by TPO under section 92 CA subsection 3, such reference or order shall also abate. So guys, if you remember transfer pricing, we have discussed that there was one section 92 CA, and in 92 CA what happened? In 92 CA what happened? Like here, assessing officer may transfer your case to the TPO for the determining the arm length price. So suppose your case is transferred to the TPO and case is with the TPO, or suppose TPO passed the order, but still AO has not passed the order. So whatever TPO proceeding or TPO order, that is also going to be abate. Abate means stop here. That is going to be a stop here. So again, we are reading this point number 4. Try to understand what point number 4 says. Okay, here, if any assessment or reassessment which is pending as on the date of the initiation of search or requisition in relation to such last 6 previous year shall abate. Only assessment or reassessment shall abate. Any other proceeding such as appeal or revision which is pending shall not abate. If any case reference is made to the TPO under section 92 CA 94 CA subsection 1 AO or order passed by TPO under section 92 CA subsection 3, such reference or order shall also abate. You got my point or not? Yes. Now next part. What next point number 5 says? If any proceeding initiated under this chapter or any order of assessment or reassessment under section 158 BC has been annulled in any appeal. So here guys, here annulled means basically it is a cancelled by the High Court, Arvind Kejriwal example. So if it is a cancelled in any appeal or any other legal proceeding, then abated assessment or reassessment shall revive with effect from the date of receipt of order of such annulment by the CIT PCIT. So suppose High Court or Supreme Court, they have cancelled the raid only. Okay, whatever raid was conducted, that is cancelled, or assessment made under section 158 BC, it is cancelled. Then guys, whatever abated assessment, they will revived, provided that such revival shall cease to have effect if such order of annulment is set aside. Now what happens? Suppose High Court says that no, raid was conducted in case of Arvind Kejriwal was illegitimate. It is illegal. It is due to the political reason. But Supreme Court says that no, it is due to the normal reason. At Arvind Kejriwal place, suppose some few crores was they got amount and all. So guys, suppose Supreme Court says that whatever that annulment order passed by the High Court, that is set aside. Set aside means Supreme Court cancel the High Court order and Supreme Court says that no, whatever like appeal was conducted, so whatever raid was conducted in case of Arvind Kejriwal, it is a legitimate raid. So in this case, what will happen? It is again revived. So that revive assessment shall cease to have effect. Means again that revive assessment will be abated again. That will be abated. You got my point or not? Yes. Now next part. This is the interesting part. What this point number 6 is, try to understand. Point number 6 we will discuss after some time. Just skip the point number 6. Let's discuss the point number 7. What point number 7 says that? Okay, AO shall process the determination of total income, including undisclosed income of block period. So AO will complete the assessment. AO will determine the total income, including the undisclosed income of the block period, in a manner laid down under section 158 BB and the provision of section 142, 143.2, 143.3, 144, 145, 145A, 145B shall so far as may be apply. So guys, here AO will complete the assessment of the block period and AO can take the help of all this provision, It means 142 was that RIA notice, return information account. So suppose he wants to like issue the notice to call the information account, he may take the help of the 142. 142 2A was related to the special audit direction and all. So that can be like AO can consider this section also. 143, 143, 143, 2 was related to scrutiny assessment. 144 is a bad judgment assessment. Suppose assessee is not cooperating, then AO will complete the assessment as per the bad judgment assessment. 145 was method of accounting, that accrual system, or like for the PGBP and other sources, you can follow the accrual or cash system. 145A is related to stock valuation. That stock can be like that. Stock is basically cost or NRV, whichever is higher. And 145B, we have discussed that there are certain special cases where income is taxable on the special basis, like in case of the government grant, it is taxable in the year of accrual or received, whichever is earlier. Now one more point we have discussed under section 145B was like in case of the in case of the late compensation, any interest, that interest is taxable in the year in which it is received. So that is this section benefit or help may be taken by the assessing officer. You got my point or not? Yes. Now next part, point number 8. What point number 8 says? Point number 8 says that AO on determination of total income of the block period, he will determine the total income of block period, shall pass an order of assessment or reassessment or determine the tax payable by him on the basis of such assessment or reassessment. So guys, here AO will complete your assessment. He will determine your income, provided that nothing in the provision of section 144C shall apply in respect of such order. So 144C is not applicable, and if you remember the 144C, 144C was related to the DRP, dispute resolution panel, and in that section also they have written that if raid is conducted on or after 1st September 2024, then DRP concept is not applicable. You remember that DRP concept, we have discussed that in 2 cases AO will forward the draft order to the assessee. One was that in case of the any foreign company or non-resident. Second case, if any case was transferred to TPO and due to TPO order there is a variation in income. So in those 2 cases, what happened? AO has to forward the draft order to the assessee. Assessee has an option either to give the acceptance or to the objection to the AO and DRP. And DRP give directions. Guys, that is not applicable. Whenever that is not applicable, 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 whenever the assessment is made under this chapter. Next point, point number 9. What point number 9 says? Point number 9 says that total income of assessee other than undisclosed income for the assessment year relevant to the previous year in which the last of the authorization of search is executed or requisition is made shall be assessed separately in accordance with the other provision of the act. So guys, here you know that I have mentioned that here, try to understand. When I was explaining, I have explained you the block period. Now block period means the last 6-year period and current year this period from 1st April till the date of completion of raid. Now guys, question is that, sir, you are saying that for this year there will be a block assessment. Sir, this year income will also be part of that block assessment? Answer is, if for this particular period, if there is any undisclosed income, then that undisclosed income will be the part of the block assessment. But whatever your normal income, whatever the normal income that you used to earn during this period, then guys, it will not be part of your block assessment. It will not be part of your block assessment. It will be like separately assessed under normal provision. Means guys, for this particular year, you will file the normal return. There may be the scrutiny assessment and all, but if normal income for this period, that will not be part of this block period. But guys, suppose for this period, if there is any undisclosed income means income which you have not shown in the books of account, income which you have not disclosed in the books of accounts, that is called your undisclosed income. So whatever your undisclosed income of this particular period, that will be part of the block assessment. But guys, if any income that is in the normal case, that income will not be part of the block assessment. You got my point or not? Yes. Again, we are reading that line. What that point says, try to understand. So here guys, what this point says, total income other than undisclosed income. of the assessment year relevant to the previous year in the last of the authorization for search is executed or requisition is made shall be assessed separately in accordance with the other provision of the act. In accordance with the other provision of the act means, guys, current year income other than undisclosed income, that will be assessed in the normal provision, means normal you will file the return and all. Now try to understand last point. Order of the assessment for the block period shall be passed by AO not below the rank of the DC or AC or DC or DD or AD, as the case may be, provided that no such order shall be passed without the previous approval of the additional CIT or additional DIT, joint commissioner or joint director. So guys, first point here, assessment in this block period, assessment will not be done by AO. Here assessment will be done by either deputy commissioner or assistant commissioner, deputy director or assistant director. And guys, they should take the approval from the joint commissioner or joint director, additional commissioner or additional director. So in simple word, guys, under this case, this is the very serious assessment now. So this assessment will not be done by or made by any officer below the rank of the ACDC. Means ITO cannot make the assessment. Here assessment order will be passed. Assessment order will be passed means by the assessing officer above the rank of the ITO only. It means here AO will not be below the rank of the DC or AC, DD or AD. Means either assessment order will be passed by this officer or joint commissioner, joint director, additional commissioner, additional director. And guys, if this officer are signing the order, then they have to take the prior approval of the JC, JD, additional CIT or additional DIT. You got my point or not? Yes. Now one more point. This is the last point, point number 6 that we have pending. Let's read point number 6. What point number 6 says? Point number 6 says that where any assessment of the search case, that is first search, that is raid, is pending in case of assessee, in whose case subsequent search, second search is initiated or requisition is made. Such assessment first search shall be duly completed and thereafter the assessment in respect of such subsequent search or requisition shall be made. So what this point says basically, for an example, in your case, once raid is conducted and raid is completed. So last 6-year block assessment is going on. But guys, suppose again they made one more raid, again they started the raid, so that is the second raid. So question is that sir, first raid assessment that last 6 years is still going on, but second raid is conducted, then what will happen? Is second raid, first raid, both will merge and only second raid assessment will be done? Or first they will complete the assessment, block assessment of last 6 years on the basis of first raid and after that they will take up the second raid assessment? Answer is yes. What they will do? First, they will complete the block assessment in respect of the first raid. And after completing that assessment, again they will start the block assessment of the last 6 years. That second raid assessment will be completed. So what this point says that, again try to understand, where any assessment of search case, that is the first search, is pending, in case of assessee, in whose case subsequent search or second search is initiated or requisition is made, such assessment first search shall be duly completed and thereafter the assessment in respect of such subsequent search or requisition shall be made. Now next part, provided that the time period of completing the assessment in respect of the second raid is less than 3 months, then such period shall be extended to the 3 months from the end of the month in which the assessment in respect of earlier search was completed. Now guys, for the raid cases, assessment completion time limit is there. Now what is the time limit? That we will discuss later in this part only. But guys, suppose once first search is completed, assessment they are making. Now assessment is completed, after that second raid assessment will be done. But second case, for the completion of assessment, suppose assessing officer is having less than 3 months, then assessing officer will get at least 3 month time limit to complete the assessment in case of the second raid. So what here this point number 6 says that suppose in case of one assessee, one raid is conducted, they are making the block assessment of the last 6 years, that assessment is going on, but after some time suppose one more raid is conducted. Then first they will complete the assessment in respect of the first rate for the last 6 years. Then after completion, they will take the second case. On second case, they will complete the assessment of the last 6 years. And guys, suppose for the second case that assessment completion time limit is less than 3 months they are having in hand, then they will get at least 3-month time limit to complete the assessment in case of the second rate. You got my point or not? Yes. Now next part. All people focus here. Done. Now this is one point. Just skip this point for some time. How they will compute our income and all. Just skip this point for some time. Let's start with the point number 115BD. That is the next section. What this section says, try to understand. 115BD is an undisclosed income of any other person. Sir, if there is an undisclosed income of any other person, then what will happen? Try to understand. So here, where AO is satisfied that any undisclosed income belongs to or pertains to or relates to any other person, then any money, bullion, jewelry, any other valuable article and things or asset or expenditure or books of accounts, other document or any information contained therein, seized or requisite, shall be handed over to the AO having jurisdiction over such other person, and that AO shall proceed as per the provision of this chapter. Like in other person also, now case section 158BA, 158BB, 158BC shall apply. So guys, what happens? Suppose for an example here, raid conducted in case of the Shashank. There may be possibility now. Raid conducted in case of Mr. Shashank. But suppose raid conducted in case of Mr. Shashank, but Shashank assessment is going on, block assessment. But at a Shashank home, some information they got, some asset they got, suppose 1 kg gold, and Shashank says that 1 kg gold is related to my mama. Mama means brother of your mother, that is called mama. And his mama, Shashank is from Andhra and his mama is staying in Ahmedabad. Suppose he is living in Ahmedabad. So mama is in the Ahmedabad and there is a 1 kg gold that is related to mama. Then what will happen? So what Shashank AO will do, Shashank AO will hand over that gold, because in the, you know that in the presumption raid what we have discussed, okay, whatever you got, yeah, it is, you call it uncle only, mama, like in the Tamil also you call it mama only, na, or in the mama only, yeah. No, I think what you call in the Tamil, to the mama, uncle, okay, uncle is brother, like father brother also, uncle, mother brother, okay. So try to understand the concept. What happened, guys? In the raid, what we have discussed, whatever they found during the raid at your place, then normally there is a presumption that is belongs to you. Normally there is a presumption that is belongs to you. But after all the investigation, if they get the concrete evidences that is belongs to the mama only, uncle only, and uncle is staying, suppose Telugu also it is a mama. Tamil mein alag hai sir. Tamil mein what you say? Hindi mein slag. Hindi mein is a mama. Telugu mein it's mama only. Okay. So all people pay attention. What I am saying, Shashank mama is staying in Ahmedabad. So what will happen at Shashank place? Suppose raid is conducted, and Shashank case block assessment is going on. And guys, suppose they got some information asset related to mama. Then what will happen? Shashank AO, Andhra AO will hand over that asset to the mama AO. And Mama AO is basically, Mama AO is in Ahmedabad. So that will be handed over to the Mama AO. And now Mama AO will make the block assessment of the Mama. So now Mama AO will make the block assessment of the Mama. So Mama AO is going to make the block assessment of the Mama. You got my point or not? Yes. Now next part is, sir, till what time they will complete the block assessment? So now this is the last part. Okay, sir, what is the time limit to complete the block assessment for the last 6 years? How they will complete the assessment? Is there any time limit to complete the block assessment? Answer is yes. Now what is the time limit to complete the block assessment? Try to understand. The time limit for completion of block assessment for the search assessee means that Shashank, shall be the 12 month from the end of the month in which the last of authorization of search under section 132 or requisition under section 132A was executed or made. So in simple word, I can say that in case of the Shashank, the assessment of this block period will be completed within 12 months from the end of the month in which raid was completed. So you can understand that in case of the Shashank, that assessment will be completed within 12 months. In case of the Shashank, assessment will be completed within 12 months from the end of the month in which raid was completed. So search was completed, last authorization was done. So when search was completed from the end of this month, within 12 months, that assessment will be completed. But guys, there is a one more point. However, an exclusion of type period maximum 6 months shall be available in respect of period from the date of initiation of search to the date of handing over the seized material to the AO having jurisdiction over assessee. Guys, if you remember, then in the raid cases, I have explained one concept. Okay, suppose Reliance is having the offices in the, like, suppose 20 cities and search is conducted at all places. So search is conducted at all places, but Reliance assessing officer is belong to Mumbai. Now, Reliance assessing officer is located in the Mumbai. So, is Reliance assessing officer will conduct the search at all places? Answer is no. There are lots of authorized officer now. So, guys, this all authorized officer will hand over the asset and material and books of accounts, whatever they got during the raid, to the assessing officer having jurisdiction over the Reliance. So here, all the authorized officer, they will hand over the assets and books of accounts to the assessing officer of the Reliance. So guys, in that there may be a huge time now. So lawmaker says that whatever time lost in this period, that Reliance AO will get the extra time, but it can be a maximum 6 months. Extension can be for maximum 6 months. So again, I am reading this line. What this line says that, however, an exclusion of time period, that is maximum 6 months, shall be available in respect of period from the date of the initiation of the search to the date of the handing over the seized material to the AO having the jurisdiction over the assessee. So guys, the date on which raid was conducted and till the time when Reliance AO got that asset, so whatever time period during this can be extended, but it can be a maximum 6 months, not more than that. Maximum 6 months, not more than that. Now next part. Now time limit to complete the assessment of the MAMA, when MAMA assessment will be completed. So try to understand. The time limit for completion of block assessment of the any other person means MAMA, shall be the 12 month from the end of the month in which the notice under section 158 BC in pursuance to section 158 BD was issued to the MAMA. So guys, MAMA assessment will be completed within 12 months from the end of the month in which notice under section 158 BC is issued to the MAMA to file the return for the block period. So guys, here Shashank assessment will be completed within the 12 months from the end of the month in which search was completed, because raid conducted at Shashank place now. So Shashank assessment will be completed within 12 months from the end of the month in which raid was completed. Now Shashank AO will hand over the asset to the MAMA AO. Now MAMA AO will issue the notice to the MAMA to file the return for the block period. So when MAMA AO issue the notice to the MAMA to file the return for the block period, from that month end within 12 months, MAMA assessment has to be completed. So here guys, Shashank book is MAMA also. Okay? So here Shashank book is MAMA also. So MAMA assessment will be completed within 12 months from the end of the month in which MAMA AO issue notice to the MAMA to file the return in response to notice under section 158 BC. Now next part guys, this period is a 12 month. But suppose at any place your case is transferred to the your case is transferred to the TPO. TPO means transfer pricing officer, then they will get the 12-month extra. Means here AO will get the 12-month extra time limit if case is transferred to the TPO. So what this point says, in case if case is transferred to the TPO under section 192 CA, then above time limit shall be extended by the 12 month. So if case is transferred to the TPO, then time limit will be increased by the 12 month. One more point. While computing time limit, if time lost due to the certain procedure shall be excluded, that same is given under section 153, like a reference to the VO, information from foreign country, that we will discuss later. So just you can skip the point number 4 as of now. Now guys, what will happen, how penalty will be applicable, like in this case what will be the tax rate and what will be the penalty, that we are going to discuss. So here guys, levy of the interest and penalty, tax rate is given here. Let's discuss first this point number 158 BB. Now guys, 158 BB is related to the how they will compute the total income of the block period. So here total income of the block period, how they will calculate total income of the block period. So guys, they are saying for the block period, the total income disclosed in the return furnished under section 158 BC. So total income disclosed in the return furnished under section 158 BC means here assessee has filed the return under section 158 BC. So whatever income disclosed by assessee in the return furnished under section 158 BC, that income they will take. After that, they will add total income assessed under section 143(3) or 144 or 147 or 153A 153C. This 153A 153C is not there in the law. It was there before the 2021. So just ignore that. Prior to the date of the initiation of the search or the date of the requisition. So guys, in the block period, suppose your assessment is made earlier. So what was the income in case of the assessment? That income will also they will add. Third is the total income declared in the return under section 139 and in respect of notice under section 142(1) or 148 and not covered in the part A and B above. So guys, suppose for any year assessment was not done, then what was your return income? So that return income also they will consider here. Now third is the total income determined where the previous year has not ended. That previous year means 1st April of previous year till the last date of the search. Guys, this current year income will be considered as your normal income and that will be assessed with the normal assessment. Na? So here, on the basis of the book entry or the transaction as recorded in books of accounts and other document maintained in the normal course. So this is guys your current year income. But guys, here they are saying that okay, we will add this B, C, D. But after that, they are saying that we will remove this BCD because on that you already paid the taxes. Bhai, this BCD, B means your assessment was made earlier for last 6 years. And guys, in assessment, whatever income is determined on that, you must pay the tax. Na? So that income will be reduced. That income will be removed. Second is suppose for any year you already filed the return, so you already paid the taxes, so that income will also be reduced. Third is the current year income from 1st April till the date of the last search, and it is not an undisclosed income. So guys, this 3 income again will be removed. This 3 income again, first it will be add, but here it is going to be removed. So total income assessed in the BCD, that is going to be reduced. And after that guys, if undisclosed income determined by the AO, means whatever undisclosed income determined by the AO means AO got some income. AO determined the income. So that income will be considered here. So in simple word guys, this income will be your total income of the block period and on that income you have to pay the taxes. So in simple word, can I say that this is basically total income disclosed in the return furnished under section 158 BC. Now guys, in this particular point, there may be a doubt. Okay, sir, total income means which income? Of the last 6 years, there may be possibility now. This all assessed income, there possibility now it is disclosed in this. Then why they have added again this? But guys, as per my understanding, because this is the new law, still there is no clarification. Okay, what do you mean by the total income disclosed in the return furnished under section 158 BC? So as per my understanding, this should be the only additional income. So whatever additional income you have disclosed, just disclose there. Take that additional income. Additional income is this income which was not part of your earlier assessment or not part of your earlier return. So this is the additional income. So here take the additional income that is that is disclosed by assessee. Now after that, what was the income on the earlier assessment, earlier return and current year income? But this BCD again will be reduced because on this you already paid the taxes. And here undisclosed income determined by the AO will be added. So this will be your total income of the block period. This is going to be your total income of the block period. And on that total income, you have to pay the taxes. Now next part. Undisclosed income falling within the block period shall be computed in accordance with the provision of the act. So whatever undisclosed income here, block period, AO is calculating, then he will calculate accordance with the provision of the act. On the basis of evidence found as a result of the search or survey in consequence of the search. So either on the basis of evidence found as a result of the search or survey in consequence of the search or requisition of books of accounts and other document and any such other material or information as are either available with the AO or come to his notice by any means during the course of proceeding under section 158B to 158BI. So guys, here they are saying that here AO will determine the undisclosed income, and AO will determine the undisclosed income on the basis of the search, or there is a survey in consequence of the search, and whatever it comes to the notice of the AO, and on that basis he will determine the undisclosed income. But what is the meaning of undisclosed income? Undisclosed income means very simple, that income or that asset has not disclosed anywhere in the income tax. That is called your undisclosed income. So undisclosed income means, here undisclosed income means any money or any bullion or jewelry or any other valuable article and things. So suppose any money or bullion or jewelry or any other valuable article and things, or any expenditure or any income based on any entry. Expenditure means suppose you throw one party of the 50 lakh. They have information that you throw some party of the 50 lakh. So they will ask from where you got the 50 lakh rupees. You're not able to explain, then it is undisclosed income. So here, undisclosed income means any money or bullion or jewelry or any other valuable article or things, or any expenditure or income based on any entry in the books of accounts or other document or the transaction where such money, bullion, jewelry, valuable article and things entry in books of accounts or other document transaction represent wholly or partly income or property which has not been or would not have been disclosed for the purpose of this act, or any expenses or exemption or deduction or allowance claim under the act which is found to be incorrect in respect of block period. There may be possibility, suppose if you took the wrong deduction. So if you took the wrong deduction, is that will also be treated as undisclosed income? Answer is yes. Because this law says that, this provision says that any expenditure or exemption or deduction or allowance claim under this act which is found to be incorrect in respect of block period, that is also treated as your undisclosed income. Now next part. While determining the undisclosed income, interest and remuneration not allowed to partner in case of firm other than the working partner. So it's simple, obviously. Here guys, you know that what we have discussed in the partnership firm, can normally interest is allowed to the like any partner and remuneration is allowed to only working partner. But guys, suppose in case of the firm, if this assessment is made and firm case that block assessment is done, then guys, while determining the undisclosed income, any interest is given or remuneration is given to the partner, that is not allowed other than the working partner. Here guys, to the working partner only this interest, remuneration both is allowed. Because law says that any interest here, like interest should be allowed to the every partner, but here they clearly mention interest and remuneration not allowed to partner in case of firm, but other than working partner, if it is paid to the working partner, then it is allowed. Otherwise, while determining the undisclosed income, if any remuneration or interest is paid to the partner, that is not allowed. But paid to the working partner, it is allowed. Now next part. Undisclosed income in case of the international transaction. Guys, suppose if there is an undisclosed income in case of the international transaction that is related to the transfer pricing, then what will happen? So try to understand. Where any evidence found as a result of search or requisition relates to any international transaction or specified domestic transaction referred under section 92 CA. Now what happened? Pertaining to the period beginning from 1st April of previous year, in which authorization was executed, in which the last of the authorization was executed, and ending with the date on which last of the authorization was executed, 1st April of the previous year. So 1st April of the previous year in which search was completed till the date of the completion of the raid, such evidence shall not be considered for the purpose of determining total income of block period, and such income shall be considered in the assessment made under the other provision. So guys, what this point says, suppose for an example, your raid conducted or completed on the 10th October 2024. And guys, if there is any international transaction related to this period, 1st April 2024 till 10th October 2024, and related to international transaction or a specified domestic transaction, if there is any undisclosed income. So question is that, sir, is this will be covered in the block period, block assessment? Answer is no. They clearly mention that, because in international taxation, there may be a lots of dispute. There may be require the lots of discussion. There may require the lots of litigation and all. So that's why saying that between this period, if any there is an international transaction or specified domestic transaction, and related to that, if there is any undisclosed income now, then that will not be part of this block assessment. That will be assessed separately. That will be assessed separately. It will not be part of this block period. It will be assessed separately. You got my point or not? Yes. Now next part. Any brought forward losses or unabsorbed depreciation for previous year before block period not allowed to set off against the undisclosed income. So guys, again, undisclosed income, you cannot set off any losses of earlier year. So for an example, guys, what happened? Try to understand. Because suppose this is your block period of the 6 year. Now in this 6 year, suppose in block period they decided that your undisclosed income is 25 crore. Now there may be possibility that you are having the previous year 17-18 losses, business losses of the 20 crore. You can say na, sir, this 25 crore is our income of the block period, additional income, undisclosed income. Please set up this losses na. So can we set up? Answer is no, that is not allowed. That is not allowed. So guys, this block period for all the year, there is a block period, there will be an income, there will be a one assessment basically for block period, one assessment, and there is a 25 crore income. So any losses before this period, that is not going to be set up against this income. You got my point or not? Yes. So read it again. Next part, try to understand. Now what is the tax rate? The tax rate, interest and penalty. So guys, tax shall be charged at the rate 60% for the block period as per section 113. No surcharge and health and education cess. Here I have written the no surcharge and health and education cess, but if you read the ICI module, ICI has written that plus surcharge and health and education cess if applicable. So don't get confused, okay? If applicable, because guys, here what they mention, you know that here tax rate will be the tax rate given under section 113. Now under section 113, what is the tax rate? I am just showing you the incometaxindia.gov.in. There is a one section 113. Now if I show you the section 113, then guys, under section 113, this is the under section 113. Now if you see na, then under section 113 nothing is given. They have just mentioned the tax rate in case of block assessment of such cases. The total income of the block period determined under section 158 BC shall be chargeable to tax at the rate of 60%. Provided that the tax chargeable under this section shall be increased by surcharge if any levied by the central act. Now levied by the central act, guys, if there is any surcharge is applicable by the central act, then it will be applicable, otherwise it is not applicable. Earlier what happened? The word and applicable in assessment is relevant to the previous year initiated so and so, that is omitted by the from this year. So guys, in simple word, if they mention that if surcharge tax, provided that tax chargeable under this section shall be increased by surcharge if any levied by any central act. So guys, there is no surcharge in this case. As of now, there is no surcharge. The tax rate is a 60%. So that's why I have mentioned here the tax rate is a 60% for the block period. There is no surcharge and health and education cess. You may write that here tax rate is as per section 113 plus surcharge if applicable. But as of now, there is no surcharge. So flat rate of the 60% is applicable. Now next part. No interest and no section 270A penalty. Guys, in case of the income escaping now, there is a penalty under section 270A. That 270A penalty that we will discuss in the penalty topic, that is not applicable in case of this block assessment. So here, interest under section 234AB and 234C or penalty under the provision of section 270A shall be levied or imposed upon the assessee in respect of undisclosed no interest, means it is not applicable, assessed or reassessed for the block period. So in simple word, guys, interest is not applicable under section 234 ABC, as well as penalty under section 270A is not applicable. But here there is a separate penalty. How this penalty will apply? Try to understand. This penalty says that here, guys, interest is also applicable. How this interest is applied and how is this penalty? Let's first discuss the penalty. So here, penalty on the undisclosed income shall be levied at the rate of 50%. of the tax payable on undisclosed income. So whatever tax, that is 60% is tax, on that 50% is penalty. So in simple word guys, 60% is tax, or 50% of 60% comes to 30%. So total 90% you have to pay to the government. But guys, this penalty here, this penalty, however, penalty under section 158 BFA 2, BFA 2 is this BFA 2 na, and under section 271 AD, 271D, 271DA, 271E. Guys, this all penalty we will discuss in the miscellaneous topic. And this all penalty are related to the, like if there is an undisclosed income, or there is a like suppose 271D and 271D and 271E, you must remember if you did the tax audit, there is a, you know, that cash loan or cash payment, or suppose like a low cash loan is taken or cash repayment is made more than 20,000, then there is a section 269 SS, 269 T and all. So on that violation there is this penalty. So this penalty as well as this penalty can be avoided if following conditions are satisfied. Now what condition you have satisfied? Try to understand. First is assessee has furnished the return under section 158 BC. So assessee filed the return under section 158 BC. Second is tax payable on the basis of such return has been paid, or if asset seized consist of money, the assessee offer the money so seized to be adjusted against the tax payable. So first is assessee furnished the return. Second is assessee paid the taxes, or guys, he just assessee offer the money, ke whatever money you have seized, na just adjust again my tax payable. Third is evidence of the tax paid is furnished along with the return, and guys, an appeal is not filed against the assessment of that part of income which is shown in the ROI. So guys, this you know that when raid is conducted, after that they will ask you to file the return under section 158 BC, and you file the return and you disclose the income from your side, then this penalty can be waived. This penalty 158 BFA 2, this penalty can be waived. So this penalty can be avoided, means only you have to pay the 60%, that's it. If you disclose, raid is conducted, after that disclose everything in the return. So if you disclose now, then this penalty can be avoided, and only 60% they will take away in the form of the taxes. And but there are condition. Condition is assessee has furnished the return under section 158 BC. Second is tax payable on the basis of such return has been paid, or if asset seized consist of money, the assessee offer the money so seized to be adjusted against the tax payable. Evidence of the tax paid furnished along with the return, and an appeal is not filed against the assessment of that part of the income which is shown in the ROI. Now next part. However, the above concession shall not apply where undisclosed income in the return, and in such cases the determined by AO is in excess of the income shown, penalty shall be imposed on that portion of undisclosed income determined which is excess of the amount as income shown in the return. So guys, suppose for an example, in the return you have shown the undisclosed income of the 50 crore, but AO determine the undisclosed income of the 80 crore. So guys, this 30 crore is an undisclosed income that is determined by AO. So on this obviously you have to pay the penalty, but on 50 their penalty there is no need to pay the penalty. But guys, here interest is also applicable. How this interest apply? Where ROI is not furnished within the time specified in such notice under section 158 BC. So under section 158 BC they will give you time to file the return. Maximum 60 days they can give. 60 days only, the maximum it is allowed 60 days or 30 days. Maximum I think 60 days. Yeah. So maximum they can allow the 60 days. But suppose you have not filed the return, then what will happen? So where ROI is not furnished within the time specified in the such notice, or is not furnished at all, then assessee shall be liable to pay simple interest at the rate 1.5% per month or part of the month of the tax on undisclosed income commencing on the day immediately after the expiry of time given in the notice and ending on the date of the completion of assessment. So guys, suppose if you have not filed the return, or you have filed the late return, then guys, there is a one interest is also applicable. That interest is 1.5% per month or part of the month on whatever tax, that 60% tax on that tax, this interest is applicable, and that interest is applicable from the next day of the time allowed in the notice to file the return. So time allowed in the notice to file the return was suppose 40 days. So from 41 days it will start, and guys, it is going to be considered that interest will be calculated till the date of the completion of the assessment. This is all about your block assessment, guys. This is all about your block assessment. Now do one thing. Obviously, there is no question is given by ICI in the module, as well as nothing is given, like there is no question in the market. This is the latest concept. So what I did, I have created one case study for you. I have created one case study for you, and guys, this case study, I'm just going to show you the case study. Okay, where is the case study? And I will add this case study in your, yeah, this is the case study. That is search case. This is one case study, and there are 10 questions. These are the 10 questions, and this is the search case study I have made, and you will able to understand this case study nicely. Don't worry about that. Now this case study I also consider in your compiler, but no, I think you don't have that compiler in your compiler. In the assessment procedure, I think you are having the less question. Suppose you are having the 34 question or 35 question in your compiler for the assessment procedure. Tell me, you are having 34 or 35 question for the assessment in the assessment procedure. I think you are having 34 question or 35. This question number 35 I have added for the case study, but in your compiler there is 34 question only, right? In your compiler there is a 34 question only. 34 or 35? 34 only. Yeah. So in your compiler, because this is added just now, it is not given in any like. So just I am copying this case study on the search case here, and I will paste in your class note. So you can take the printout. If you wish to take the printout, you can take the printout, or if you wish to read as a PDF, you can read as a PDF. It's your choice. So here guys, I'm adding this in your compiler, sorry, in class note. Board notes you will get, as well as this case scenario also you will get it. So guys, in the break, please read it now. Here I am just showing you, or I can share the PDF also in your group. Please read it. अच्छा, मैं एक काम करता हूं, मैं इसको सेपरेटली आपके उसमें भी ऐड कर लेता हूं. किसमें? सेपरेटली I can add to your class notes. Yeah, please share in the group. I'm sharing in the group. Give me 1 minute. Or this may be possibility it is already in your group. Please can check you. Please check it. I think it may be possibly it is already in your group. Page you can use, and guys, I am going to write What are the difference in certain section till 31st August? What was the provision and what is the provision with effect from the 1st September 2024? Because whatever we have discussed now, that is the provision applicable from the 1st September 2024. Now, what was the law before the 1st September? So just here I have made one like table, and in this particular table I am going to guide you or teach you what was the law before 1st September 2024 and what is the after 1st September 2004. So what was the changes? So try to understand, guys. Here under section 148, you know that earlier they written that before 1st September means up to 31st August 2024, that law was that notice under section 148 has to be served. But here now they use the word notice has to be issued. Notice has to be issued. Now earlier there was a notice has to be served, but now it is written notice has to be issued. But nowadays, guys, there is an online notice. So it will not make any difference because now issue and serve will be on the same day. Now, when notice is received in your mailbox or on your income tax e-filing portal, it means you have received the notice and this notice has been served. Now, second difference is, guys, now you know that what is the law now under 148. Assessee required to file the return within the period specified in the notice, but not exceeding 3 months from the end of the month in which notice is issued. So guys, now that AO will tell you that in this particular time you should file the return. But earlier you know that there was no time limit. There was time limit of standard 3 months. Earlier there was a standard 3 month time limit, but now there is a like AO will give you the time limit in the notice, and that maximum time can be the 3 months from the end of the month in which notice is issued. But guys, earlier what was the law? Assessee required to file return within 3 months from the end of the month in which notice is issued or such further period as allowed by AO. That was the provision earlier, but now provision is that notice is issued. In notice there will be a time, within that time you have to file the return. Within that time you have to file the return, or maximum time can be the 3 months from the end of the month in which notice is issued. Now guys, under 148A, now what happened? Directly AO will issue the show cause notice for providing opportunity of being heard. After that, AO will pass order under section 148A(3) whether case is fit to issue the notice under section 148 or not, and no need to follow the procedure in case of information received under section 135A. But guys, earlier what was the case? You know that earlier means before 1st September the law was under section 148A. First AO can conduct the inquiry also. Now AO will not conduct the inquiry. AO got the information, directly he will issue the show cause notice. But earlier what happened? You know that earlier AO can conduct the inquiry on the basis of information before providing opportunity of being heard. And AO used to pass the order under section 148A sub 148A clause number D whether the case is fit to issue the notice under section 148A 148 or not, and no need to follow the procedure in case of search and information received under section 135A. So earlier in case of the raid there was no need to follow the procedure given under section 148A or information under section 135A, but now search is removed, and guys here 135A information is received, then there is no need to follow the procedure given under section 148A. Now next part, time limit to issue the notice under section 148. Guys, now time limit to issue the notice under section 148A is 3 years from the end of the relevant assessment year and 5 years from the end of the relevant assessment year, and 148 extra 3 months. But guys, earlier that 148 time limit was given, and earlier that 148 time limit was normally it was a 3 years from the end of the relevant assessment year. But guys, income escaping is a 50 lakh rupees or more, then there was a 10 years was the time limit. Earlier that 10 years was the time limit. 10 year was the time limit. Earlier that 10 year was the time limit. So 3 year and 10 year, but now it is a 3 year and 5 year. Done. After that, now guys, that higher authority, from higher authority, they have to take the approval while passing that order that your case is fit or not fit. And higher authority is now joint commissioner, joint director, assistant commissioner, joint commissioner, joint director, additional commissioner, additional director. But earlier, guys, you know that earlier, if notice is issued under section 148 or 148A within 3 years from the end of the relevant assessment year, within 3 years, then they have to take the approval from the CIT, PCIT, DIT, PDIT. And if notice is issued after 3 years, then they have to take the approval from the PCCIT, PDGIT, CCIT or DGIT. And guys, In the raid cases, what happened, you know that earlier in case of the search also assessment is made under section 147, but now guys, in case of the search, assessment has to be made in some different section. There is a 158A BA to 158 BI. Now what is the 158 BA to 158 BI, that we will discuss tomorrow. So guys, I am going to give you some time, approx 5 to 6 minutes time. Just copy down this part, because I think this is not written in your book. So just copy down this part. Copy down this part. Copy down.